Suzannah Baum.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. My intention today is to share with you how to create structured and engaging presentations so that every time you give a presentation, you do so and you stand out like a leader. So to do that, I'm going to talk about how to structure your presentations, how to master your fears, and how to engage your audience. Do you remember the days when giving a presentation used to mean putting some slides together, getting it up on the screen, talking to your audience, and running away? Or better yet, when you're just getting a presentation ready for one or two people, a small audience. You're sitting down, you're just reading off your slides and hoping for the best. But it's not really like that anymore these days, because the trouble is our audiences are getting smarter. The good news is that we're getting smarter at the same time. And so what's happening is that there is a greater demand for compelling presentations, a greater demand to engage your audience, a greater demand to know how to focus our message better so that we can get the point across quickly and with value. One of my favorite quotes here, overreaching this, is this quote, which I believe is so relevant to all of us. You need to know how to give a good talk in public because so few people know how to talk in public, so you will stand out. But don't get me wrong here. What we're doing today is not a workshop on public speaking. This is a workshop on putting together excellent presentations. Whether you are speaking to a group of one, a group of many, or an audience of one, how do you put together the right presentation for the right audience, the right message at the right time? Because we all know at your level, at your executive level, you know the rules of public speaking, and stand up straight and use good body language and make eye contact, and okay, we get it. But now what we need to do is take the information that we know and put it into a presentation that means something to our audience. How do you take everything you know and everything that is relevant and squeeze it into that 15 minutes and still be something rewarding that the audience walks away with something valuable? Now, what I do is I work with three different types of people. So there's the type of person who does not want to give any presentations whatsoever. So whether it's in a public speaking capacity at a conference or a large group, they just don't want to do it. They say, no, please assign someone else. I don't want to go near a public speaking situation. Then there are those who give presentations regularly, whether they like it or not. They just do it. It's part of the job. They get it done. And maybe often these are the people who say, I'll put everything together, get in front of the client. I don't have a choice whether I want to or not, just going to get it done. And then, of course, there are the more experienced types, the seasoned presenters who say, I give presentations a lot, I like giving presentations, I have no fear whatsoever, but I just want to be able to engage my audience better. These are the people who say, I'm good, but I want to be great. But something is broken with presentations now. What is broken is that we put down what we want to share with our audience, but very often what we need to consider is what does our audience need to hear from us at that time. And so I am striving to break the broken presentations and move us past that. When you are sitting in front of that one client or those three clients or the board or the association or your colleagues, how do you get across the message in the least amount of time? How do you focus what you know and bring it forward in a structured and engaging and very compelling way? And don't forget the why, which is the benefit to your audience. They need to hear that you understand their benefit and that you understand their why. What motivates them and what will they consider a success? And when that can go in your presentation, they'll be like, hey, this person went that extra step to understand what I need and my motivations. And so you go through your presentation, you do a great job, you get to the conclusion, and you're like, yeah, aced it. All right, questions? And then there's, that one person with that horrible question that you can't answer. Or that you can answer, but it's not a great answer, or it's not what you wanted to say, or they trip you up. And then all of a sudden, you've gone from finishing this beautifully prepared presentation, you've finished it on a high, and now you're just down low. So the reason why the question and answer is there is that it gives you a chance to regain your composure if that event ever happens. So if you have this great presentation and you present it so strongly, and then you ask for questions and those terrible questions happen, at least once you finish questions, you have a chance to build yourself back up again and end it the way you wanted to end it, and end it with that impact. You have to ask, you have to make the ask, and it has to be very clear. But I was surprised at how many people go through the whole presentation and then they finish the presentation with, "Thank you." At this point, you will have connected with them, you will have provided all the information that is relevant to them, you will have shown them that you really understand their needs and looking at success of what they need and what success looks like to them. And so once you get to this point where you're asking, you have proven that you know them so well that it is easier to make that ask because it's just part of the conversation. What you have done here is created a conversation and not so much a presentation. So once you get here, it's part of the conversation of this is now where we need to go from here. So the point of today was to bring up a new way of looking at presentations, a new way of approaching them, a new way of being excited about them. And it was really wonderful hanging out with you for this afternoon, and I thank you so much.